Ah. Oh, now I'm really loud. Okay, what I was trying to say, guys, is basically my entire setup is a complete mess right now because last time I streamed, it was on Twitch, and I guess things are just different on Twitch. I don't know. All my settings seem to be messed up, and everything is noise cancelling off or on. I mean, um. So yeah, things are a little bit of a mess, but it's fine. Yeah. Hello, Bradley Hastings. Hello, Alex. Welcome to the stream. So yeah, all we're gonna do today, I'm not planning to do any programming today. I think we just need to do some designing and planning more than anything else. And then yeah, maybe the industrial streams will start back properly after that. But planning needs to happen first, I think, because oh, 1 second, because yeah, there's some lack of planning is what I'm realizing. Sorry guys, there are so many things I have to sort out. Fantastic. Also, this will not be a long stream. Probably like at all. Like it's quite hot. Even if nothing else, it's like 27 today. See, right now supposedly it's 24, but that's outside, so it's probably about 30 in my room, I imagine. So it's quite hot. So I probably won't stream for long. But I'd like to get some planning done if possible. Okay. So where do we even start is the question. Well, I don't have an answer to that either, because that's kind of the goal of today, to figure out what we're even going to plan, let alone anything else. So I think it's worth starting with what do we already have in Industria, and then figuring out what of that needs to change. I think that's a good start. So, God. The other thing to mention is this. So this is actually where Industria is now going to have all of its dues and all of its boards and stuff. So this is just a website I've made. It's not anything special. It's basically, to be honest, just a Trello clone. So this is kind of what I have so far. I don't have anything crazy on it, but yeah, I've just got some bugs that need fixing on here. But apart from that, this is empty. Also, this music is still so loud. I might just need to turn my headphones down. God, this never works. These headphones are useless, bro, because you can't... It doesn't work doing this. Oh, there you go. Now it's working. Thank you. Okay. Bloody things, man. I don't know why they couldn't just have normal buttons like every other headphones in the entire universe, but hey, here we are. Regardless, yes, this is the basically Trello. Got all the bugs and stuff on here, which I just got codecs to take from basically like all the to-dos that are in Industria. It just looked at all the to-dos, collapsed them into like reasonable things, and then put them on here. So I need to do all of these at some point. Now, there's obviously a bunch of other bugs, that's needless to say, but these are just the ones I wrote to-dos for. Turns out I probably don't write to-dos for most bugs. So, yeah, the other thing, I should probably mention this. The reason I haven't done Industria in a while, and I did talk about this when I kind of stopped doing Industria as well, is that I didn't have an artist. Now, I do now have an artist. You may have seen them around on the Discord. So yeah, that's good news. We now have an artist, and that means I'm willing to put some time back into working on Industria. Not like anywhere near full time, of course, but more than before, hopefully. Hello, Wide. Welcome to the stream. So yeah, what we need to do today, we need to figure out a couple things. So, first of all, we're going to just wait for IntelliJ to wake up. Might take a minute. Good enough. So, okay, in Industria right now, I have this asset checklist file. And Codex generated this too, by the way. I literally just asked Codex to go through the entire project and list basically everything that needs a model or a texture. So this is what it's come up with. It's basically just listed everything that's in the mod, because everything needs a model and a texture, funnily enough. Now, only things missing from this are the cables and pipes and the fluid pumps, because those have already got models and textures now. So yeah, basically this is everything the artist is gonna have to do as for like what exists right now. So yeah, it reckons 125 registered blocks, 202 registered items, but not sure that's actually correct. That reckons 111. Oh, pardon me. 111 3D item model, 91 flat 2D item model. Yeah, I think what's going on here is it's collapsing blocks and items into one thing. Like where it says 202 registered items, I think that's actually... I think that's actually 77 item. Because I think it's... I don't know why it's doing it, but I think it's saying there's 125 registered blocks. So then this is 202 minus 125, because each block has an item. I don't know why it did it like this. This is one of those AI things that just like, why the fuck did it think that was the right way to do it? But yeah, that... Oh, it actually does say here, 3D item means an item that displays a block or a custom geometry rather than a generated flat sprite. So yeah, it's not necessarily even an item. So why it called it that, I don't know. But yeah, that basically means what we actually have is 111 plus 91 is everything that needs doing right now. Now, a lot of the ores and stuff I'm kind of hoping are going to be fine anyways. Like, I think most of these are okay. So they might not need new art anyways, but obviously all the machines do. So my plan is to kind of, first of all, I want to put all of this onto here. It's going to take a long time. I tried to get Codex to do it for me, and it just couldn't do it. It just really struggled with like taking... I think it's because there's so many individual things on here, it just couldn't take them all and put them on there. So I'm going to have to do that manually at some point. Not today, though. We're not just going to go through this entire list today. Instead, it would be better if we look at what we have here so that we can determine what's in what state. Because things are a bit of a mess. So, really, yes, let's just start by running the goddamn mod and just going one by one through everything and figuring out, okay, is this done? And what are we meaning by done? And then we'll go from there. Now, I do want to actually, hopefully, plan some things today as well, not just go things. I want to look at batteries properly today. What else do we want to look at today? I think we want to properly look at the rubber processing. So currently this is the entire rubber processing board. So yeah, I think we want to look through this and kind of figure out what we can get rid of. Like I already know that anything like purification, I'm just gonna yeet that, because I think purification is stupid and it's really not important. Like there's nothing you could do with impure ammonia. Nothing. Like it would just a useless step in the process. So it just doesn't need to be there. Now the same is technically true about like diluted ammonia. So I don't know if I want to get rid of that, but the problem is if I get rid of that, then I have to basically get rid of the distillation unit, but I don't want to get rid of the distillation unit. So I don't know. I need to figure out something there, but we'll come back to that anyways. Let's go through what we currently have. Now, what I'm going to be doing, by the way, is I'm just going to be taking notes. So I'm quite literally going to have a notepad open, and I'm literally just going to write things in the notepad. You guys aren't going to be able to see it because it's going to be on my other monitor. But I'm going to just take notes, and then afterwards, hopefully Codex will turn that into to-dos. I think that's the best way to do it, because I can take notes quickly. It doesn't mean I have to spend a bunch of time creating cards on the to-dos and whatever. I can just take notes, and then Codex reads the notes, cleans it up, and puts them in cards. I think that's the best approach. So let's create, first of all, a brand new world. We'll just do creative, normal. Let's just turn off like mob spawning and stuff so that we can actually run the game at a decent frame rate. Time of day, weather off, boom, boom, boom. Anything else we care about? Probably something like that. Be nice. Everything else is whatever. So, okay. Fantastic. Create new world. Whatever. I don't name my worlds. I think you're a crazy person if you name your worlds. Let's be realistic. So, okay. Let's start at the top. And we'll just go down. This isn't in a great order. Like, Codex just put it in an order. So it's not a great order. But we're going to go in this order just because it's simpler than trying to jump around. So, aluminium or aluminum. Well, no, we won't call it whatever. Aluminium is probably the best place to start anyways because of its current state. So I was a bit confused for a second, but I just realized that yes, aluminium ore is not a thing. So we start with bauxite. Now there are 2 bauxite ores, so we have stone and we have deep slate. I think now I'm not great at art, but I think these textures are fine. Like I think they're fine. I don't think I need to get new ones for these. If my artist does happen to join in the stream at some point and would like to disagree with me, that's fine. But I think these are fine. I don't think there's anything wrong with these. They may not be the best textures in the world, but they're not even if they need fixing, they're not urgent, right? That's how I look at these. Next we have raw bauxite block. This one, on the other hand, I don't remember. And this one needs some work. I don't necessarily think it's terrible. I just I don't think it's great. I think I struggled with this like a lot. Like trying to get it to tile is one of the hardest things. It doesn't tile like at all. Like you can very clearly see that seam there and there. So yeah, that needs redoing. But that's okay. That's actually, it's done it in a weird order because now it doesn't just go straight to items, it just goes to the next set of blocks. And I kind of want to like do all of aluminium. Okay, it's fine. I guess we can kind of... Maybe we don't go through them one by one. Maybe what we do, guys, is we go like one at a time. So we say, we start with aluminium and we say, okay, what's the process of aluminium, right? So aluminium starts from bauxite ore. You smelt that, you get, or you mine it, and you get raw, it's not called raw bauxite. I think it's just called bauxite. You get bauxite, right? Which, by the way, I also think the texture is fine. Oops, I didn't mean screenshot. I meant to F1. But yeah, I think the texture here is fine. I just realized you can see the game twice. Wait, let me. That's horrible. Why is it that size? There you go. Okay. Now you can't see everything twice. So, yeah, I think this texture is fine. Stop it. So, raw bauxite needs doing. Let me just put that in my notepad, because that... So, raw bauxite block. Nice. Okay, next one. So where do we go from bauxite? Right, so from bauxite, can I remember where we go? I think you go from bauxite to bauxite slurry. And I think you do that in the mixer with sodium sodium bicarbonate. That might be completely wrong. Let's find out, shall we? Mixer. Okay, this is kind of, we're already at the next thing. Mixer needs a model. Hello from St. Petersburg? I don't know how to say your name, by the way, because I can't read Cyrillic. But welcome to the stream, and hello from St. Peter. I assume you mean St. Petersburg, but St. Peter. What is this, by the way? I didn't know leaves could generate on sand. Yeah, anyways, Mixer needs a model. I think the reason, actually, by the way, that this is not showing the model that it should have is because this is a multi-block now, right? So we need to build the mixer. As for why it's showing this hitbox, it shouldn't be. Let me write this down as well then. So mixer issues. I'm going to put it down as issues. So mixer. wonder if there's a way I can get this up on the screen for you. Let me try something real quick. Oh wow. Oh wow. OBS has changed things. Oh, this is cool. Oh, this is cool. Oh, OBS has done some cool things. WOBS. Anyways. Da, 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 da. Okay. I don't think that's worked. Is it because I don't have open? I'm trying to get this up. Why it's not working. Let me try this actually. I have an idea. Aha, got it. Got it. Now, can I get the transparency or is that not possible? Oh, there you go. That works. Capture cursor. Yeah, that's fine. If I just move that over here. There you go. Lovely. Okay, so now when I go ahead and I work on this so you guys can see what I'm doing over on the right. So, okay, what do we want to say? So we want to say that the kind of entire rendering of the initial block. So initial mixer block render does not work. So the thing is, how I've currently done this is that this mixer block basically. I don't know what's going on here, by the way. This mixer block is the controller block. But how it works right now is that when you build the multi-block, you need to place down the controller block. I actually am going to make it so you don't have to do that because that's kind of annoying. And the problem with doing that is that means the controller block itself has to have a texture, even though in the final model, that controller block gets yeeted, right? So that doesn't make any sense. So doing it this way just doesn't really work anyways. I actually am just going to put that into an issue here as well. So I'm going to say with multi-blocks, the controller should not be used in construct the should not be used in constructing the actual multi-block. It should exist only when the multi-block is already created. The important about this is that we will have to redesign the multi-block system to allow constructing the multi-block by clicking a different non-controller block with the pretty long one, but that's fine. Okay, the hard thing now is that we have to figure out how do we build a mixer. I don't know how we build a mixer off the top of my head, so let's try and figure that out. I don't think it's generated, but it might be. No. That's fine. So we'll just go resources, data, multi-blocks, and we're going to look at the mixer. Okay. So what we need is we need iron blocks. We need copper blocks. We need glass. We need fluid tanks. We need fluid pipe. We need cauldron. Steel blocks. And lightning rod. Now, I should say this, like, pattern that it's come up with is very much AI generated. Later down the line, or probably not me because I'm not a good builder, we will have to come up with like a proper pattern for all the multi-blocks. For now, these are just like test ones. They're not, these are far from being the final ones, basically. For many reasons. I don't think like some of these are okay, like they're not bad, but they're obviously not ideal either. So let me just do this. Glass, fluid tank, glass. Then it's 2 fluid pipes. Then it is a cauldron. Fluid pipes connect to the cauldron. That's pretty cool. I didn't know they would do that. Makes sense though, actually. I don't know why I didn't know that, but yes. And then what is it? Glass, fluid tank. Yeah, you guys can't see the pattern. It's behind the game right now. You just have to trust that I am following a pattern. Okay, first of all, I'm immediately noticing that this isn't the right size. The mixer is bigger than this, no? Yeah, the mixer is meant to be 4 blocks high. Okay. This is another proof of like, yeah, the AI generated patterns are not ideal. Another problem is you have to click the controller to create this, and the controller is at the bottom in the middle. And that's easier said than done. Hopefully, though... Nice. Okay. So yeah, mixer needs a model. We've already got that on there. I feel like the GUI texture's okay, but probably will be redone too, if we're being realistic. Wrench, by the way, I also feel like it's okay. It needs to have a handheld model. Wrench needs held. That's not really a model work. Model work, I'm kind of saying, is like model and texture work is basically everything that my artist will need to do. Issues is like stuff that I'm gonna need to do. That's kind of how I'm categorizing. So yeah, that needs to be a handheld model. But other than that, I feel like the texture's okay. I don't know. Maybe it could probably do with a little bit of work. Wrench. I'm gonna put maybe. And my artist. Is your artist on your to-do board? No, why? Because currently it is not hosted. Wait, let me. Wait. Currently this isn't hosted. This is just on my local host. But I'm gonna host it soon. I think. I just need to do a couple more things with authentication because it's not ideal right now. Like you can't reset your password, you can't change your email, you can't have 2FA, you can't do any of that. So I just need to do that first, but then I will, yes, because like I can assign them in here. So yeah, I will add them to this after. Where's my but like not right now. That's why I'm just putting them into notes right now. We're not doing anything crazy. So eventually Santa wrench maybe. I think it probably will need work because I don't think it's a great model. You guys actually can't see it because this isn't. There you go, guys. Now you can see it. So I think it's okay, but I think it probably needs a little because I'm not a great texturer. Only this is a mess, but it's fine. So yeah, in terms of what do we do here? So this guy needs energy. Cable. Now, I don't know where we add cables. I think it's, or at least I thought, yeah, it is on the top, but for some reason it's not on the top in the middle. Don't know why. I also don't know why it's doing that. I don't know why it's glitching out like that. I'm gonna write that down, but I may not be able to figure that out. When placing a cable... Wait, what is actually happening, though? I think what's happening is that when I place this down or break it, it's causing an update to the mixer, which is then updating all of its connections to the cables. I think that's what's going on. And so they're briefly changing state into like a normal cable and then switching back to this cable. I think that's what's going on. I'll write it down, but I don't think I'm going to be able to figure it out. There might not be a solution. It's not a massive problem anyway. When placing a cable on top of the mixer, placing or breaking connected to the mixer, or probably box 2, it causes all connected cables to flash. This may not be fixable or may be very hard. Okay. Just noting that for help in the future. Okay, so yeah, then we just need to obviously generate some energy to connect these cables to something. For now, I think we'll just go over wind turbine. Lovely. Is that working? Yes. Lovely. I'm going to put this down now. So model work, I'm going to put wind turbine. Now, I have already requested that they work on the wind turbine, so I don't know if they're actually doing that right now, but that is the next thing I kind of gave them to do. So hopefully we're going to have an actual model for this soonish. The other thing is we probably only want to allow this to take energy out the back rather than all sides. So I'm going to put that in here too. Wind turbine should only allow cable connections from the back at the bottom. Okay, that's fine. Okay. We also need to talk about like internal buffers on machines at some point, but for now 10k is fine. Because we don't have any kind of balancing yet, but 10k is probably fine for now. So what I think goes in here is bauxite, as I was saying, of course. And then I think it is sodium bicarbonate. No, it's sodium hydroxide. Damn it. I almost got that. I almost got sodium hydroxide, but I didn't go for it. Now, what I know for a fact, this is a 1 to... I think it's a 1 to 4 ratio? Like that. Now, I think it also needs water as well. The other issue is item rendering on this, but that's kind of sure, I'll put that down as well. Item rendering on mixer will need redoing when model is created. Okay, we've got that down. Next thing is water. Now, I think water just goes in the side, I think. So let's grab a pipe. Doesn't like that, so we can try the other side. Don't like that either. Oh, it's probably the top. Yeah. Water goes in the top. That makes sense because that is more realistic. Because obviously fluid going in the top makes sense. I'm not sure about these pipes. That looks a bit weird, doesn't it? I might need to bring that up. That looks a bit weird. Write that down. I'm gonna put fluid pipe connection piece. Looks weird without vertical connection. Go. Because yeah, like in a vertical connection, I think this looks fine. It just looks really weird here because it just doesn't fit. I'm not sure why it's doing that. That might be a me problem, but I don't think it is. Regardless, this needs to connect to a fluid pump. So let's grab a fluid pump. I need to fix the item model for the fluid pump. Fix. In GUI positioning. Item model positioning for fluid pump. I keep putting that, well, not putting it off, but forgetting basically. So I need to do that at some point. Okay. Now with the fluid pump, I think it only actually looks for water at the bottom block, not the second block. So I mean that is technically correct because the water part is down here. So I'm actually, that's probably fine, isn't it then? It's just a bit weird, like doing this just looks a bit, oh, God's sake. It looks a bit weird. Whereas like this kind of looks better. I think, well, does it? I don't know. I mean, how do I unwaterlog this? That's not possible, is it? Okay, fine. I need to figure that out anyways. Okay, fluid pipe, so that needs to go like that. And then we need our energy. Like that. Okay. So that's now generating water. That's filling this up. Hopefully we should see, yeah, we can also see the buffer is rendering there. Once this is completely full, we should see that go up properly. No, that means it's not actually able to generate enough water to keep that buffer going up. Now, I also need to fix the voxel shapes here because you can see they don't quite line up. I need to figure out why it's doing that. So fluid pump voxel shape is incorrect. Very buggy. Oh, there you go. Just as I almost missed it. There you go. Now that is filling up with water. It doesn't say how much water's in there though, does it? Fluid pump GUI does not display buffer amount over. Also, the GUI needs a texture, so fluid pump GUI. To be honest, does this actually even need a GUI? And that's something worth considering, is that like not every block needs a GUI. In this case, I feel like it doesn't really need a GUI. So this is working, by the way, so that's good. Why is that still processing though? Oh, it's stopped. That's actually same problem there. That's also not displaying. Oh, I also got the ratio wrong, apparently, because apparently it's 4:1 bauxite to sodium hydroxide. But that's fine. Yeah, does this need a GUI? Mighty question, what do you guys think? Do you guys think the fluid pump needs to have a GUI? Yeah, I'm kind of inclined to agree that like it doesn't really need one, right? It's kind of only to see how much energy it has, but I mean everyone has, you know, JEI nowadays. Not JEI. What's the mod called that? Well, there's like 10 of them. The ones that let you see up the top. Everyone has that mod nowadays. So maybe just remove GUI for this then. It also doesn't need the player's inventory. Jade, sure. That's one of them, yeah. That's one of the many ones. There's loads of them. There's like is it like Whaler or something? Something like that is one of them. And then there's also another one that's also sounds like that, but it's like a slightly different one. So it's like Whaler or something. There's like weird ones, and then there's also there's the one probe one as well. And then I think there's loads of like newer ones. I don't know what they're called. Remove fluid pump. I'm gonna rename this to not be issues, but like issue slash change. Remove fluid pump GUI by getting a Fanta sponsor. I'm not gonna get a Fanta sponsor. But hey, Fanta, if you're watching, feel free to sponsor me. Although I drink way too much of you. But you don't sell sugar-free ones anywhere. Can't even get sugar-free ones. Devastating. Regardless, anyways. Yeah, that's fine. We'll just get rid of the GUI for that then. Because that just doesn't need to have one. The only thing I'm concerned about with that is like yeah, only I'll just do this. I'm drinking some unknown or yeah, but then the problem with that is that the cold, sorry, there's an actual name for that I can't think of right now. is facing this way if I hold the label like that, unless I do that. But like that's really hard to cover. Oh, there you go. There you go. Generic orange drink. We love a generic orange. Blah blah blah. Okay, I can't speak. Let's just not speak then. Also, can you guys see this, or is this just me? There's like some white specks there, right? That are showing up along the cable. I don't know if that's something I can fix or not. Is that a Minecraft issue? I don't think it is, right? Because that's not showing up on the fluid pipe here. There's no little white specks on the fluid pipe. So what's going on with that? I don't know if you guys can even see that. It's like really faint, but I can like very visibly see it. I feel like that's not a normal thing. So I'm gonna... Oh shit, I almost just stopped the stream. I somehow almost pressed stop streaming. Okay, it's fine. Investigate weird white flash barren effects on... I'll put energy cable just so I'm clear. Not that we have other cables, but you know, I might get confused otherwise. I'm hiding it unless you sponsor me, Fanta. I know you're listening. Okay. So wait, I just realized I can move Minecraft to my main screen. Oh. Is that weird? Is that broke anything? No, that's fine, right? Only problem with Fanta is it makes me very gassy. Isn't so ideal. You think it does? I'm not seeing any, but maybe it does. With black dots, I don't think I'm seeing any on the fluid pipe. I can't lie. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's going to be hard for you guys to see because, you know, YouTube bitrate moment. I'm also not streaming at a great bitrate, to be honest, because I don't think my PC could handle an amazing bitrate. So you guys are probably going to be seeing it much worse than I am. But like right now, I can very visibly see some dots right here. Right there. Right there. I can't actually see any along here, but like if I look at the fluid pipe, I can't see any. I'm not seeing any little specks on that. I can also see a white dot there as well. I think it's not white. I think it's transparent. I think that's what's going on. Let me also do something because it's kind of driving me crazy. I feel like it's more visible now. Maybe it's not. What if I go up close to it? Can you see it then? I think it's Z fighting. I think there's Z fighting going on. Because it like depends on how I look at it. Like right there, right there. You see that speck? Just a single like pixel on my screen, basically. I think it's literally a single pixel. But like it's very dependent on the angle I'm looking at it from. Like right now you can see it's this one over here. I don't think I've seen that in vanilla before. And like that's not happening on the mixer. Right? Oh my god, look at it here. Look at this. There's so many of them. And like as I move around, it's like a little disco party. No, but I think this is actually an issue with the model because they're in the same places every time, right? Oh my god, like look at that. How many there are. But they are in the same places. What's it fighting for? Isn't he fighting caused by two textures? Well, that's what I'm wondering. Maybe because what it looks like to me is that it's happening at the joins, right? So you see the one that's happening right here, right there. That's on a join, right? So this 3x3 here is a centerpiece. This is a horizontal. This is a horizontal, right? So it's happening on that joint. It's even happening on this one as well. So I think it's Z fighting that inner face, right? So I think there's a face between this part and this part. In fact, if I go in spectator, I can show you. There. You see that? There's a face in there. So I think what's happening is basically like the very top corner and the very bottom corner of this face are Z fighting with like the horizontal face on here. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. Like that whole edge, basically, I think is Z fighting. So I think the fix here basically is just to hull this inner face. It's kind of hard to do though because these are two separate models, right? Like this here, that part, this part, and this part, those are three models, right? So you got two horizontal pieces and then you got that centerpiece, and they're being combined together in the block state file. So I don't know how you would cull those inner faces. I will have to look into that. I'm gonna put it down in here. I think this is Z fighting with the inner faces. So look into culling. And I'll see what I can come up with that. I think that's what's going on. Regardless, I'm kind of distracted because that is such like a non-issue. But it's just in the corner of my eye, and I'm just like, that's kind of annoying. But okay. Anyways, okay, that's fine. Fluid pump, does it break fine? Yeah, another thing I need to look at is particles, right? Because like when I break this, you see how like the particles are like really weirdly fragmented. That's because of the texture, right? Like if I break this, you see how they're just all blocks, but like here they're like weird patterns of them because it's using the texture as a particle. So I think it'd be good to try and find a way to fix that. I don't really know, but find a better way to display particles for custom block models. Like, I think something like the Lecter, I think it just uses a wood texture for the particle. Yeah, you see it just uses oak planks, right? Because that's clearly oak plank, that particle. I think that's basically the way to do it. What is like the brewing stand? Because doesn't really use vanilla. Interesting. So they have like square piece. Interesting. Yeah, so that's worth looking into. Once again, very minor, but since we're going through things, it's worth going through, I think. Okay. Pardon me. Oh, pardon me. As I say, Fanta makes me very gassy. Bauxite slurry needs a texture. Bauxite slurry. And also, once again, pardon me, that's not displaying the amount. So bauxite output slurry in mixer does not display amount over capacity. Lovely. Okay. So now we have the slurry. Now the slurry, I think, comes. I think it does come out the side actually. We also do have an item output, but that's not used right now, so that's fine. So slurry pipe then. First time I'm actually going to be connecting the slurry pipe to anything, so this will be interesting. Nice. Obviously, it looks a bit weird because it's offset weirdly like that, but it's not going to be like that eventually because we're going to have like custom connections to each machine. So like this will actually go to the machine later down the line. I'm actually going to put that in here as well. Custom pipe / cable connection models machine to remove the gap. That'll be easy to do. Okay, so that's the slurry pipe. So that, yeah, goes in there, I guess. Also there, apparently. I don't think it does go there, but whatever, that's fine. So yeah, this is where things get complicated because I don't know what happens now. I think it goes from bauxite slurry. Do I remember where it goes? Bauxite slurry goes, I think, into the digester. I think. So once again, digester here needs a model. This is going to be the same with all the machines that we're going to go through, by the way. The fluid pump is literally the only one. So we're going to be doing that for all the machines, but that's fine. So once again, we just need to build the multi-block here. So I'm just going to look at what the digester multi-block is. This one actually is 4 blocks high, so that's fine. So digester will do stone for some reason. Copper. Then we have cauldron. Oh, by the way, guys, if you notice something or have any feedback about anything you see, please let me know. I am very open to suggestions. Like there's a high chance there's something I haven't thought about or something I miss. You know, things are not perfect. So if you have anything you would like to point out, please feel free to do so. That would be fine. Okay, the the multi-block for this one is very strange. I'm actually going to put that in here. Redo multi-block pattern. All the multi-blocks. I don't think is confide a word. I think so. In Unity for this because it's right, I'll put that down. Lovely. So let's build this then. So we got 1 2 3 1 2 3 okay, stone. Then we put digester in the middle like that. Then we have copper. Oop. Like that. Then we have a cauldron. like that. Then we have glass and a composter in the middle. And then it's steel blocks all the way around. And a campfire in the middle. As I say, guys, a strange one. Okay, so let's wrench this. Gonna be a pain because I have to get the roller. What the fuck? Where's the mixer gone? Oh, it's moved the mixer model. Okay. That's what the hell? Constructing the digester multi-block moves the mixer model and the digester is not even in the place. I'll figure that out, I guess. Anyways, no idea how that has happened, but okay. That's got to be some hella jank code. But okay, it's fine. So slurry, I think, goes in the top, as well. Does that make sense? I think it goes also in the middle. I guess not. Huh. Apparently not. Interesting. In that case, it probably goes underneath, but that doesn't really make any sense. It doesn't go underneath either. Interesting. Where does it go then? Well, to be honest, guys, I am guessing that the digester is the right one. It could not be the right one. Like, the digester might not actually accept slurries, hence this isn't working. That seems to be the case, doesn't it? I thought I remembered the digester being the one that I use here. There is obviously a chance it just doesn't work right now. Let's have a look. Let me do that. Okay, so let's figure out why that's not working. So best place to figure that out. Let's go into let's go generated data Industria. That's Minecraft. Industria recipe. And then we need to look for bauxite slurry somewhere in here. Bauxite slurry. Mixer, bauxite to bauxite slurry. I'm not seeing it in here. There's nothing under D, is there? For digester? Digester, bauxite to dirty sodium aluminate. Yeah, I thought so. Okay, let's have a look. Digester, block entity. And let's figure out where it wants that input, because it should be from the top, right? That makes the most sense. So let's see. what it says. I don't remember how this works, guys. I can't lie. I haven't touched Industria in a long time. Where the fuck do I define the inputs? Well, wrap slurry storage is direction dot up. Wait, is it underneath? No, we tried underneath, right? Yeah, we tried underneath. Crazy. Not underneath. Here you go. Get slurry storage for external. Local y is equal 4. Local x is 0. Z is 0. Yeah, so that's just not. It's just not accepting it. I'm gonna ask Big Man and see what it says. Let's say, where does the digester accept the slurry input from? I cannot seem to connect the slurry pipes anywhere to the digester. You guys aren't really going to be able to see this because my face cam's in the way, but it's just having a look. Appears to be the digester's top center port, but I found a likely one-off mismatch between that port coordinate and the actual 4-layer multi-block. Yeah, I think this needs to be 5. I think that's what's happening. Wait, no, that doesn't make sense because 1, 2, 3, 4. So it would be the 4th one, right? That should be fine. Same. Due to a one-off bug, exposes slurry at local offset 040, while the 040. So the y is 3 because the bottom y is 0, right? So it goes 0, 1, 2, 3, not 1, 2, 3, 4. So yeah, 4 is wrong. This should be 3. Now, actually, it's fine because I can do that. I'm gonna reload the game so we can actually test this out, because otherwise this entire processing line becomes very tricky. So let's run in debug mode and from now on, and then we can sort that out, right? Let's just also look at some of the other ones just to make sure these are also not going to cause problems. Yeah, those are fine. Okay, fantastic. We'll give this a second to load back up. I'm gonna screen it for you. Okay, so if I just place this back down, we'll wrench it, and hopefully our we connect that there. Nice. So that's now connected to that top block. Lovely. Still don't know why the model's doing this, but whatever. It doesn't really matter. it is literally just a box anyway, so it's not like we're going to be able to see anything fancy. Later down the line, maybe we will. I don't know exactly what my artist is actually going to even do for the model for the digester, because we haven't discussed that yet, but that's okay. So now question, why is this not coming out of here into here? That's interesting. It could be that that is the input. I think there's a way, if I do not F3 B, I have a shortcut for debugging. I think is it F6? Yeah. No? Maybe not. Because there's some weird shit going on. No, I think it is F6. No, it's not F6. Well, it was F3 and B, but doesn't seem to be. Because this is just the cables, right? So I don't know why they're so massive, by the way. It could be that it's broken. That's fine. I'll write that down as well then. Rendering or IO ports in debug right. Yeah, as I say, I think what's going on here is that wait, this accepts it from all sides. Wondering if there's like a side that I feel like it goes out the bottom. I don't know why. Doesn't seem to, huh? Let's ask Big Man again and see what conclusion we get from that. Similarly, the mixer does not seem to be exporting its slurry to connecting slurry pipes, even though the pipes seem to be able to connect anywhere. Why is that happening? Let's see what the conclusion for this one is. Probably something similar. Let's try and have a look whilst it's figuring out. See if we can figure it out first. I don't think we because I'm so tired. But let's have a look. Get slurry storage. Here you go. Y is equals 0. X is not 0. And Z is not 0. Don't think that's what was happening. Oh, yeah, that would be like any bottom layer, I guess. I think what I wanted is I only wanted it to be down, like facing down. X is not 0, or Z is not 0. Oh, wait. X is not 0, or Z is... Oh, no, that's fine. I was thinking it said and. And correct, and could it be correct as well, actually? Are you using mix-ins in this mod? Probably. Yes, I think I have mini mix. Let's have a look. We have, yeah, quite a few. Quite a few mix-ins. These are just the main ones as well. There's a bunch on client as well. Not a huge amount, but most of those are unused, to be fair. I need to redo the mix-ins at some point for fluids, but that's a whole nother. The mixer exposes its output slowing time from every parameter block on the bottom layer that explains why the pipes visually connect across that layer. However, pipe network only attempts this transfer pipe network to connected machine. The mixer using it is an extraction only output slurry storage which rejects insertion. Right. Mixer uses extraction only which rejects insertion. Consequently, the transfer stops at the insertion check in transfer type. Let's have a look at that then. Transfer type. I think I know what it's talking about actually. But let's have a look. 198. Supports insert. It does not support insert because the secondary storage does not support insert. But that's fine because the secondary storage shouldn't support insert, right? Because in this case, the primary storage should be the mixer, right? And the mixer should be pushing out into the cables, hence the cables should be the secondary storage. But the secondary storage should support insert because cables support inserting. And this supports, oh, because it doesn't support extracting? No, but it does support extracting because it's extraction only. So what's going on here? So currently slurry pipes can deliver slurry into input machines, but they will not pull slurry from output only machines, such as the mixer. The pipe techniques bi-directional source sink handling pull from extraction only endpoints. I'm gonna ask, shouldn't the mixer be the primary though, and the pipes be the secondary? Oh, I guess not, because the transfer type only works on the pipe network, because the pipe network is running transfer type dot push to, right? Let's see what it says though. The call should be push to a connected positive mixer output, but currently does the reverse. Person is correct when supplying input to the machine, such as the digester. The network techniques to select direction based on storage capabilities. The annoying thing is we have to fix this now because otherwise we can't test the entire like flow of the machines, right? Is to select direction based on storage capabilities. Yeah, the problem, I think the reason I didn't do that is that you can't easily tell if it can insert or not, right? Like, I have this kind of rudimentary supports insert, supports extract predicates. But in reality, it's not ideal. I guess that is just the way to do it, right? Okay. Yeah, it's just like, that's kind of a pain in the bum to do. It's not as simple as just like, hey, which one is it? Like, I guess the way to do that is just define some kind of direction. Like, we would have some kind of public enum. Oh, you guys can't see what. Why don't you guys tell me this? Come on, guys, you got to tell me this. Transfer direction, and then you would have, or more like storage capability, and then you would just have insert extract both, right? And then what it could do is calculate that storage capability. So here currently, instead of doing these checks, we want to instead have it be, but like these checks need to be dependent on this, but they can only be dependent. Oh, that's kind of a pain in the bum, huh? Because I think the problem that brings up is that this check really kind of needs to be there. Like, the thing is, this can't be the other way round is the problem. But shouldn't the mixer be pushing to the pipes anyways? The pipes shouldn't be even trying to run. Why are the pipes even trying to do this? Fabrics Transfer API is specific about requiring a push approach, not a pull. See what it says about that. Bro, I just got friggin' soaked. Water bottle's so annoying. What does it say now? You're right with the ownership model. I'm checking the current legacy code to determine whether the pipes network access transfer infrastructure unfinished replacement of right output. Yeah, I think the reason I didn't do that though, the reason I'm not adhering to Fabric's philosophy is because that means every single machine has to have that same output code, and that's like really hard to extract into something usable because of how picking works and whatnot. Let's see what it says. The pipe tick in is legitimate for distributing authority inside the network. The mission operation is the mixer pushing its output to the adjacent pipe. Got a multiple implementation did exactly this. Output pause invoked to push to. Yes, exactly. The newer mixer implementation only expresses output storage and never performs the output tick. Therefore, the mixer correctly does that. Okay, so where exactly does the port logic need to be there? I don't know why I'm really asking this, because I think it just needs to live in well, what is it called? This thing. Where is this I thought this wraps it in some kind of like thing, but it doesn't. I thought it wrapped it in like some kind of port thing. Okay, it's gonna try and code it now. Is it? Oh no, it is just writing a recommendation. So hopefully it doesn't actually code it. Let's see what it does. Who knows? Yeah, I think that the only way to do this would be to have some kind of like port object in the block entity. And then that way the block entity can just in some kind of inherited tick method, it can then just output the ports because it will have that list of ports, so it can just iterate over the list of ports and then the ports will have their necessary logic. I think that's the way to do it. I just kind of a pain because that requires rewriting all these methods, but I imagine that's the necessary approach because I don't see another way to do this without breaking everything. I'm also going to close the game because we'll need to restart to be able to implement this. It looks like we are doing coding today, guys. Wasn't the intention, but here we are. So we'll just wait and see what it figures out. I think it probably will come up with the solution I had, but let's give it a chance. Maybe it comes up with a better solution. Go. I'll wait for it to figuring out what's going on. Okay. The port's transfer scheduling should live in the modern multi-block controller lifecycle, not in pipe network. The clean in repo location is tick server. On tick, push external outputs, Then mixer block entity should override that hook and push its slurry tank from the valid output port position into adjacent storages. Mixer should also use one shared predicate for both exposure and pushing. Yeah, I see why it's done that. I just don't necessarily agree. Multi-block lib already has output pushing logic for its own declared item fluid energy ports, but Industria's slurry ports are manually exposed and therefore bypass that system. The hook above supplies the missing equivalent for custom Industria transfer types. Okay, so that's the problem then. Why didn't it just say that in the first place? I was gonna say because, like, fluids seem to be working, energy seems to be working, so why isn't slurry working? That makes so much more sense. I always forget that the multi-block lib doesn't support slurry by default because that's not a vanilla Minecraft thing, right? Okay, so the real issue then is that the slurries do not have parity with the other transfer types. This, of course, makes sense because the multi-block lib wouldn't be expected to deal with a transfer type. But the question becomes, what's the most elegant solution to this? Rather than adding this same implementation in every machine, could we instead I don't know, make the... Wait, where does this come from? Industrial multi-block controller. Yes, so could we instead make the get XYZ storage for external method return some kind of object, store this locally in the block entity, and then in an inherited tick method, iterate over and run the action. What do you think? I want the method with the least friction when creating new machines. Let's see. So where I can show you guys this? No, not really. I'm gonna move my face. Let's see. I assume it's thinking, right? But it could just not be doing anything. For instinct is sound, the reusable unit should be a shared port descriptor with an internal external lookup and output, pushing driven from that declaration and comparing that against multiple extension points to design. Just second can be. Yeah, that's the problem, is that the lib already does that kind of thing. I mean, I should probably tell it that, like, if necessary, we can modify the multi component if that's the okay. I might have thrown it for a little bit of a of a loop there, but hey, it's fine. It'll figure it out. Annoying thing is, guys, we can't even do anything whilst we're waiting because we can't test other things because we're stuck with this issue at the moment. Yeah, like we kind of have to wait until this is fixed for us to even go on to because we can't test the rest of the processing line until we have slurries in the digester. So yeah, we just have to wait. I think it's got stuck. I can't lie. Either that or it's thinking like crazy right now. Bit of a problem. I am coming up to like running out of usage. I have 10% left. I'm gonna have to use a reset soon because I don't think they're gonna give me another one anymore. Oh, it was just thinking. It was just thinking the entire time. I thought it was waiting or something, but no. It was actually thinking. Okay, let's see what it says then. Oh, pardon me. Oh, here it comes. Gassy Fanta. Let's see what it says. So, yes, since you're in multi-block gig, I saw this generically there. Your store report object is the right shape. With one adjustment, the fabric lookup method must still return the actual storage type. Pardon me. The block entity should store port descriptors whilst git storage becomes a thin lookup into those descriptors. Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking anyway. So port binding takes a transfer type, port IO, supplier of the storage, and then a port matcher. Yeah, the matcher is basically just a function of what we already have in the git whatever for whatever. What the method's called. And then max transfer as well. That's fine, I guess. Using a supplier of S, avoid initialization order problem. Sure. I feel like that was self-explanatory, though. Multi-block libs controller already has the correct tick ordering. Machine processing tick output port push. This existing push output should be generalized. To iterate with registered port bindings for each output binding, it should do yeah, whatever. Generic transfer operation belongs on transfer type because it already extracts insertion, extraction variances. Yeah. I concur. Sure, I guess that's fine. Modify the existing one then. Passing the storage source directly is preferable to looking it up again through the world. I agree. Multi-block lib does not need to reference slurry, gas, or heat classes. Extend its custom port type transfer registration so each mod supplies the behavior. Each implementation. A future mixture should only need one declarative method. It should be ports.input. Oh, that's actually quite nice. Oh, that's nice. You know, that is one thing that AI is really good at. It's really good at coming up with, like, nice-ass code. Of just, like, nice, structured ways to do things that are, like, just abstractions, I guess. It's good at coming up with good abstraction. Because this is nice. The only thing is, like, might be easier said than done to implement, but, yeah. Various callbacks would all delegate to one generic method. There's a mix of block and then, type compatibility bridges. Do not invoke an overridable defined port from the superclass constructor. Initialize the descriptors lazily after construction during load or in whatever. I don't know what that word means. Hello, Rat. Welcome to the stream. Your port's defined. Called up by looking. Did I ask it to do it, guys? I wanted to spend this stream planning. I didn't want to spend this time coding today. This is going to take ages to code all this. Can I be bothered to do that, or shall I be lazy? I don't know. The annoying thing is, and it's kind of my own fault, is that I've set up multi-block lib as a lib. And the annoying thing about that is that I have to, like, publish the lib when I want to make changes to it. It's just really annoying. Where even is it? Oh, there it is. I'm just going to ask it to do it, guys. Yes, I'm going to vibe code it. You should just sue me. Please don't sue me, but I'm gonna vibe code it. What we'll do, we will turn permissions onto read only, and then we can just make sure it's, like, doing the right thing. I think that's the way to go here. Sure, I think this is a good approach. Implement this. You have access to the lib at /multi-block lib. I have changed your permissions to read only, so you request access edit. You have to tell it to do this, by the way, guys, because otherwise, apparently, it just doesn't know. Like, you would think updating the permissions to read only would, like, put something in the logs to tell it, like, hey, you now have to request permissions. But no, it just doesn't. It just doesn't know that, and it thinks it can't do anything anymore. It's so stupid. But whatever. Just something I like to rant about. Oh, I'm also going to tell it, do not attempt to edit in bulk. Only edit single files at a time, otherwise. Yes, you have to tell it that too, by the way, because otherwise it tries to edit multiple files at once, and like half the time it doesn't let you even accept that. Another annoying thing I have to note. Okay, multi-block clip is actually like downloading assets and shit right now. But it's fine. Ain't no way it's trying to run commands, right? It's actually succeeding though, I think. Yeah, it actually is succeeding. Even though it's meant to be on read only. I guess get child is reading. Does it know that though? Or is it able to just run commands willy-nilly? Because it seems like it's just running commands willy-nilly right now. Maybe it is smart enough to like have restrictions on that, but seems a bit odd, no? Why is it looking all the way back in E programming? So it's going to try and list everything inside. Oh no. Oh, it's in Codex. I forgot I originally made that project with Codex. That's why. I was wondering why it couldn't find it, but no, that makes sense. I completely forgot I originally got Codex to like make the structure of the project, because I think it's multi-loader. No, I don't think it is. Is it multi-loader? Wait, let me have a look. No, it's not. It's fabric only. I don't know why I did that. I was probably too lazy to download the template and then edit the template and then all of that shenanigans. Because that is effort, by the way. But I honestly don't know, guys. Like, I did this a very long time ago. It would have been like, what, like I think I did this in like February. Something like that. It would have been like at least 5 months ago, probably. No, Industria is not multi-loader wide. I very much do want to make it multi-loader, but it's just so much work. I don't know. If I want to do that, I need to make my own multi-loader lib, basically. Because like the amount of work it would require otherwise would be insane. But yeah, I don't know. It will like regardless, it will take a really long time. But what can you do? Like if I want it to be multi-loader, that's the price that has to be paid. Unfortunate. I mean, I'll be honest, the more and more I've done multi-loader, the more I'm like, I hate multi-loader. Just because it's so... You know what I hate about multi-loader, actually? Like, genuinely? Is that I hate Neoforge. I actually just hate Neoforge. I think it does everything in just bad ways. It just doesn't do things in the best way you could do it. And so every time I have to do multi-loader, I realize, oh, I have to use Neoforge. And then I'm like, oh, this is a shitty experience. But that's how the world works, I guess. You leave Big Man on it for a while. Maybe. But I'm not inclined to do that because... Like, I know that I did that with Railroad on the SST. But the thing with the SST is it was something I wouldn't have to touch ever again afterwards. The problem with getting Big Man to do it on Industria is that if it does it in a way that's shit, I have to deal with that basically for the rest of time, or I have to rewrite it myself, at which point there was no point getting Big Man to do it in the first place. So it's like the long-term cost of getting Big Man to do it is just not worth it for the amount of problems it will almost certainly cause me. This is not a correct patch, I think. Yeah. This is the other thing, by the way, guys. Codex doesn't know how to write patches when you tell it needs to write a patch. Look, invalid patch. Invalid patch. Invalid patch. Because it doesn't even fucking know how to write patches. You realize how insane that is? Oh, and it's just done the exact same thing again. You can't make this up. And this, by the way, is the smartest model that exists to the public. The smartest model that exists cannot write patches. That's insane. I mean, that's another reason where I'm like, I don't think I could use Codex to do that, because it's just dumb sometimes. Not all the time, to be fair. Give it credit where credit's due. But sometimes it is just dumb. And it drives me crazy, to be honest. I don't see what it's doing right now. Like, what is a channel? I don't even know what a channel is. It said here what a channel is? No. I don't really know what a channel is. But we'll see, because at some point it will hopefully show us. why a company's using it so much if it's this bad. It's because sometimes it's not bad. And also humans are expected to fix it. That's why you have someone prompting it, because it's them that's meant to be expected to pick up the shit that it friggin' shits everywhere. I hate this, by the way. I hate anything that returns an object. It's just horrible. I feel like there's no need for that to be an object, but we'll come back to that. That's a future problem. That many physical ports share one machine open tank, and only the source side output phase will input custom transfer behavior. Okay. Sure, I concur. See it then. Okay, I said this will probably be a shorter stream, guys, but it might actually end up being a longer stream. Sure. Depending on how long this takes. I also need to be careful whilst we're doing this to not use up all my usage, because that will cause problems. What the fuck has it done? Made a lot of changes. Okay, mostly just a binding map though. And then lookup methods, bind method. Modified that to probably work with the bindings, I guess. Is storage bound, yeah. Basically the same thing. I don't really like it using a string. It's fine for now, but we'll keep an eye on that, because I don't necessarily know I'm fine with it using a string. Maybe we can tell it to use an identifier. Could you not make it? Okay, that's crazy, by the way. The fact that it's able to run like a Gradle command without my permission, it should not be able to do that. Yes, that is better. Exactly. That's what I was thinking. And yet here we are, not doing it. Yeah, see, that's just better. It's just better. Now for the big boy. Wait, no, this isn't the big boy. The next one's the big boy, I think. No, it is that one. Wait, maybe the channel was not what I thought it was. I think what I was actually looking for was the type ID. I don't really know what the channel was there. Yeah. I think what I was looking at, yeah, it's fine. Oh, I wonder if it's going to try and publish. What do we think, guys? Do you think it's going to try and publish for me? That'd be kind of crazy if it tries to publish it. I mean, it needs to. Like it needs to publish it, I think, if it wants to get it on Industria. But does it? Wait, is that true? Am I lying? I don't know. Let's have a look. Well, it uses my Maven, so probably. Yeah. Well, that could be on Maven Local, actually. Maven Local is included. Let's see what it's doing real quick. Run off in the sunsets. Apply port type, implements port type. Create storage, single storage, save storage, load storage, external storage, push output. Yeah, that's all fine. Hello. Oh. Okay. Well, I was going to say hello, Solus Jump. You did your message. So I retract my hello. Okay, what's going on here? So what are you doing? Yeah, the port type is what I think should be an identifier. Ah. It's fine. I hate this so much, by the way. I don't like that. But okay. Find port storage? But what happened to this method that it talked about with the fancy builders and stuff? It said, oh yeah, let's add this fancy method. And then we're just here, just not adding the method. Like, hello? Like, what the hell? What is this? Oh, it's added it to the JSON file? I think it's super worth spending the time to define all your coding preferences in like an agents file. Maybe. Probably is, yeah, but like I am too lazy to do that. To be honest. And also, yeah, I have a lot of preferences. Like, I mean, it probably is worth it, and I have considered it, but I don't know. Okay, let's see. So it's published on Maven Local. I don't know if that's gonna work though. But let's see what it says. It might work. I don't remember if I imported it to Maven Local or not. No, I should probably just have a look. Access my repc. Yeah, I can't be asked to figure out how to access my repc right now. Okay, what's the conclusion? Industria now compiles for diff review, whatever. I hate when it does this, to be honest, because it's just a waste of time. Oops. Oh, it's fine. I thought that sent that. I've done that. I have 7% left. Oh, that's not bad. I only used a percentage doing this. That's not bad at all. But that's because it kind of hasn't done any of the things it said it was going to do. You haven't actually done any of the things. Like, where is that port method? And you also haven't made this work with any other machine, which you need to do. So let's lock in. What is this? Okay, just as I was saying that, it might be about to do that. It actually might be about to do that. Kind of fun. But let's see. Which plan you on? We were going through... Well, we were trying to go through the aluminium processing line, but we encountered an issue with the multi-block system, so now it's trying to fix that so we can actually continue going through the aluminium processing line. That's the plan. I need to close my window. I will be right back. All right, I'm back. Oh, for codecs, I'm on the cheap one. The $20 a month one. I don't know what that's. I don't know if it's plus or if it's pro or I don't know. One of them. I'm just gonna send that message, and it'll figure it out. See what it thinks about that. I'd like to think that, like, I think it'd be kind of funny if I said something like this and it got kind of like mad at me. If it was like, you know, like, fuck you, why didn't you tell me this sooner? Or if it was like, oh my god, give me a chance. I think that'd be kind of funny. The day that AI becomes sentient, that's probably exactly what's gonna. I mean, you can see it's already like, bruh. Because it's realizing that, oh shit, it has to do so much more than it thought it had to do. Yeah, that's what I thought. It just did this weird JSON thing. I don't want it in JSON because that's just fucking annoying. Like, defining the ports in JSON is just an incredible annoyance, to be honest, because the pain. And it also means that, like, I can't actually have code in here, right? It just has to have those, like, hard-coded positions. Yucky. I liked the idea of a predicate. But let's see what it. Yeah. Okay, this is fine. This is what it came up with originally. Let's see if it actually sticks to what it said originally or not. Port matcher, yep, that's exactly the same. That's fine. Where's it adding this? Oh, it's actually adding this in multi-block lib. Okay, that's fine. That's not a problem. Port binding, that is pretty much exactly the same. So that's fine. Whatever. Imports. Always messes up imports. Codex can't do imports. You'd think it would be able to do imports, but nope, here we are. I can't lie, guys. I reckon we're just gonna be waiting here until like 10 o'clock. I don't think this is gonna finish before 10 o'clock. It might. Okay, let's actually read through this part. Builder, where position at. Yeah, but like, what's that actually? Oh, because that just takes in a port matcher. And then this is just a simpler match of the position. That makes sense. That's a bit weird. Oh, that's fine, I guess. Still not really the same as what it came up with originally, though, is it? It definitely has dumbed it down a bit, which I had a feeling it might do. Because as nice as it looked originally, it obviously wasn't going to be as easy as, you know, as one would suspect. Oh, I wasn't paying attention. What's it done now? Multi-block controller block entity, port registrar, define ports, got some method stuff. Push outputs, yeah. Yeah, that all looks fine. Okay, we're below 5% now, so I should probably do a usage reset. When does my usage reset actually expire? 12th of August? Probably worth using it now anyways then, because my next like actual reset is on the 8th, so I wouldn't use 100% in 4 days anyway. So I'm just going to use a okay, there you go. I didn't even look at what it did, by the way. What's it changed? So implements port transfer. Yeah, push 2 just gets completely rewritten. Okay, just done that. So yeah, if it doesn't extract or it doesn't insert, that is a better way of doing it. Why didn't I do it like that originally? God knows. I do some weird things sometimes, so see, get port local off. That's sure. Thought that method already existed, but not. Oh, it did. It's just overridden it. Wait, no. I'm sure that method already existed, but maybe I think I had something similar, but I think it would actually just return like a vector rather than a direction. I think. I think that's what I'm thinking. Also, it's probably not quite the same. What's all this? That just does as you would expect it to do. That's fine. Is formed is something I won't have to worry about soon, because if we're gonna rewrite multi-blocks so that you don't place the controller prior, then that'll be fine. I won't have to worry about that at all. Build failed. What a surprise. We have a compile error, do we? Oh, what a surprise. It's on imports. Of course it's on imports. When would AI ever be capable of doing imports correctly? Probably shouldn't have done a compile because it's going to try to compile at the same time, and then it's going to clash with each other, and then... Oh, no, that actually finished quite fast. Yeah, but the problem is it also needs to... Yeah, it needs to do this. Because it hasn't done this yet. Did it even do the mixer? I don't think it even did the mixer, right? No. No, it hasn't. It's just got this bullshit, whatever this is. Okay, this is the part that's going to make it take ages. Let's see what it does. So what are we looking at here? We're looking at the mixer. Yeah. So gets rid of that junk, gets rid of that junk. Lovely. That's what you love to see. Gets rid of all of these methods and has a single method. That's actually so much nicer. That's what I wanted. To be honest, when I was originally writing this multi-block system, that's what I had in mind anyways. I just don't think I could get it to this stage. But yeah, that's nice. This is the kind of thing, by the way, guys, I'm trying to do like across the entire mod. Like I'm trying to take out systems so that I don't just have them duplicated across the entire thing. The kind of thing that like Create does, Mechanism does it, Immersive Engineering does it, Greg Tech does it, basically every tech mod. They abstract out pretty much everything, right? And so, you know, you don't even end up with like, in the end, you don't even have a tick method. You know, you just have like a list of like, oh, you know, read from bucket input. Then you call a method read from bucket or push to bucket output, right? Update buffer, that kind of thing. I do want to do that at some point. It's just unfortunately a lot more effort than one would like to believe. Not anytime soon, Wide. I have more important things to worry about than that. Oh, it's got rid of the slurry port type. Interesting. Why? Oh, because it doesn't need to exist anymore. Right. Because it's just used the transfer type now. Lovely jubbly. I mean, I've kind of had that system in design for a while, Wide. Like I was trying to do it with components. Not components. But like, it was like this, right? So you would have, and I don't necessarily think was the best way to do it, but I'd had like a add field, and then you'd be able to do like I had like this as well, like tick logic. So you'd basically like add operation. You could add a condition, but like it's like in theory it's great. It's just kind of a pain in the butt to debug. Is the only, you know, like if you want to debug machine logic, it's a pain. But long term, you have to consider that like you probably don't need to debug it. That's kind of the benefit, is that like I won't be writing these massive tick methods anymore. I won't need to debug machine logic because machine logic will be so simple that it just won't need debugging, right? That's obviously the long-term idea. Because at the end of the day, all machines are exactly the same, right? Literally every machine from basically every tech mod ever does exactly the same thing. Their tick logic will be near identical, right? Because all they're doing, they, one, consume energy. Two, find the recipe that matches whatever input is in the machine. 3, they increment the progress, right? So the progress goes up. 4, they check if the progress is like greater than or equal to the max progress. 5, if it is, then they output the item from the recipe, right? They output the result and reset the progress. That's it, right? That is literally what every machine from every tech mod ever does. Obviously this case is where, yes, some machines may have fluid inputs and item inputs, or it may have gas outputs, it may have whatever, but conceptually it's the exact same thing. And that's why you can get away with abstracting it out to like, hey, look for inputs dot, extract input or consume input, or whatever it may be, because it is just that simple. But it's just getting a good a good architecture for that is the hard part. What's it doing? This is I'm just going to trust it right now that it's going to do the right thing here. I think it should be fine. Yeah, I do want to do it someday. It's just, yeah, that like initial part is quite hard to debug because you're in basically lambda hell. The other issue is there is performance impact, but every tech mod does it, so you don't get massively degraded performance using a tech mod, or at least not the decent ones. So the overhead is fairly negligible. Obviously the compiler inlines lambdas anyway, so that's not necessarily a problem. Comes a bunch of virtual method calls instead. Just energy. What machine is this? Upgrade station. Yeah, that makes sense. that adds up. That would just be energy. Rotary kiln, yeah. Rotary kilns for subject, guys. Let's not bring up the rotary kiln. Yeah, whatever. Fine. It's got an issue compiling. What that is. I bet it's is it an import thing? I know, it's just that it doesn't like these methods, but they don't return the right thing. Yeah, that's an issue in some of the block entities. The methods have the same names, but they return different things. And that's kind of what another thing of like, if we had this abstraction system, I don't have to worry about that because I'm not writing the same thing multiple times. I'm not going to have it different across different machines. It's just going to be the same. And that is a major benefit of having a good level of abstraction. Don't do things differently in different places. It's also like some machines in this mod, I imagine, are incredibly unoptimized compared to other machines. Right, ones that I maybe did at the start versus newer ones, or ones where I tried to like that were maybe in the middle of a rewrite, right? They might still use the old way of doing things. Maybe some newer things are worse because I chose to do them a different way that I thought was smarter and turns out to be worse. All these problems are big problem, to be honest. And that abstraction does fix that. But I'm probably thinking, like, if I do that level of abstraction, I will do that before I switch to multi-loader. And that's because then I only have to rewrite that abstraction in multi-loader, not rewrite every single machine in multi-loader. Right? That's another massive benefit of. In fact, you know, I'm going to put it on the to-do. Create an abstraction for machines so that logic can be unified. Well, unified and deduplicated are like the same thing. But unified and more intuitive isn't really more. Let's just go maintainable, and I'll know what I mean. I'll probably ditch my existing system. Oh, the other problem I had was with like components, but because the way I intended to do it was with components, so I'd have like a component system, like kind of ECS, but not really ECS. It didn't really work, so I need to figure out a better way to, which I will figure out. I get there. Oh, uh-oh, context compact. That's never a good thing, because now it's lost track of where it was. Okay. I'm gonna open up GitHub desktop. Let's see what state it's in right now. Not bad. I can't lie, I expected much worse. I expected like tons and tons of files here. But no, it is actually staying pretty well within what it should be doing. No changes there. Big one should be this one. But like not that bad either. Like really not that many changes. All the changes are just per thing. But like look how much cleaner this is, bro, than all of this bullshit. Or like the big one is the arc furnace, right? Look at all of this. Look at it all. All of that compressed down to this. I mean, come on, guys. That's, you know, that's pretty beautiful. If you ask me. Shaking table. Oh, that's lovely. That's the kind of shit I want everywhere. It's not done though. What's the still other one? What's this? Electrolyzer. W electrolyzer. Agitators next. Okay. What's a mode dependent? Don't know what that means, but sure. Oh, is it gonna hit an issue here? I think it's gonna hit an issue with the wait, what are we talking about? Agitator. I don't remember how the agitator works. I think it's gonna hit an issue. Let's see. If it hits an issue, it's probably going to write the most abysmal code you've ever seen. Let's have a look. Oh, that's not great. Oh, that's really not great. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at the diff. What's got input? Oh, I see. So it's just kept the original storage. Interesting. So it's kept the original gas one. Why is it kept the original gas one? Whatever. It's probably... Right, why does it... Okay. Also, I was wrong, guys. We're past 10 o'clock and we're still going, by the way. I reckoned 10 o'clock was the cut-off, but nope. Hello, Super Z. Welcome to the stream. Are we done? No, we're not done. What's it doing now? Editing this. Got rid of the channel? Interesting. Does it know what it's doing right now? I think getting rid of the channel. I don't know what the channel was originally, by the way. I'm not really sure why it ever added the channel, because I don't even know what it was. But I'm guessing it was just a JSON thing? I don't know why it ever added that. But yeah, that seems to be the case, so I don't yeah, I'm gonna have to... I'll do that in a sec. What type? Okay, why is it getting rid of everything? Why is it delete? I'm kind of concerned now. It's getting rid of everything? Okay, is it getting rid of useless things, or is it actually getting rid of everything? Let me check what it's actually doing. Okay, no, I think it's fine, actually. I think it's getting rid of the old system that it wrote. The one before I told it, like, hey, you're being stupid. I think it's getting rid of that one. I think that's what it seems to be doing. Which is okay. What's this? That all part of that? Yeah, it is, yeah. Okay. Okay. I'm just going through what it's actually doing. Okay. What's that? Yeah, that's all fine, because that's also the port binding stuff, which it doesn't need anymore, because it has the defined ports with the port registrar. So that is the better way to do things anyway. So it is actually just getting rid of the junk stuff that isn't important. Now, big question, will it remember to update the version from 2.2.0 to 2.3.0? What do we think? It's not going to do it, is it? It needs to update the version and then it needs to publish. But I don't think it's going to do it. Don't really. I think it's just looking for leftover things from before. Okay. I don't know why it's looking so hard into. You know, it'd be kind of funny is if it found the some of the rendering issues we had. Okay. What's it doing? Oh, I see. Because originally it didn't take in the side; it just returned null. That makes sense because yeah, originally there were issues with the side before. I do remember that. That makes sense why that was happening now. Because yes, I was just ignoring the side. That's good to know. Kind of funny that it found that. I kind of want it to find the rendering issue because I don't even know where to start looking for when I have to look into that one. Because that is kind of crazy one. But obviously I'll have to figure it out. Okay, are we done? Are we done, chat? Both projects compile. Okay. We'll give it a second still then. We'll give it until 15 minutes past at the latest. Hopefully it finishes like sooner because it is just looking over everything. It should finish. Let's see. Oh. What's this? Yeah. Is that because Port.io has a... I think that's because Port.io has a bi-direction. Yeah, it has both. So yeah. That makes sense because it can't just check if it's not output. It has to check that it is input because otherwise it could be both, right? So that doesn't really... Well, wait. No, yeah. That is correct, yeah. Because that's for the binding specifically. That's fine. Yeah. Okay, are we done now? One non-port behavior that needs preserving. The unformed arc furnace exposes gas on its east side. That's separate from multi-block port, so I'm retaining one narrow fallback. No? No. The arc furnace couldn't. You're gonna bump the version? I want to see it bump the version. But as I say, I don't think it's on Rhapsody anyways. It probably doesn't matter. But... what does it do? Okay, that's... right. Why is it still reading? Come on, you're done. Just say you're done. It has to be done by now. We've been going for like half an hour. Which is crazy. I think we're going for longer than that, right? I found another issue. Generally, when it looks into a specific method like this, it means it's found another issue. I think it's gonna have... it's also stuck on it. Means it's probably writing a patch. Means it's either done or it's writing a patch. But I have a feeling it's writing a patch. Otherwise, I don't know, it would have looked into this random method. Yeah. Not what I thought, actually, though. Okay, it has reverted that change. I can't think of whether that's right or not. No, I think that might be right, yeah. Because you have to consider that an output could also be both, right? And likewise, an input could be both. Like, input and both are both inputs, and output and both are both outputs, right? So you can't... is that right? I don't know. What's going on here? Both item. Sure. Wait, so did it just get rid of everything that was both? What's it doing? Where are these coming from? Now I'm kind of concerned it's fucked everything up. Because it's suddenly adding outputs to everything. Like, where are these coming from? Oh, yes, I don't know if that's right or not, though. Yeah, it is. Oh my god, it's not done. Oh wait, never mind. That's fine because it's already done that, right? Hopefully it's just finished now. Final builds pass, new channel remnants, whatever. Yeah, that should be the case. And then finally, hopefully, guys. Yay! Plan finished. Is it done then? See. Five hours later. Yay! Okay. Now, we can actually, hopefully, fingers crossed, test the entire processing line. I can't lie, guys, I feel like I could have done that faster. I always regret using it afterwards, because I'm like, oh my god, that took so long that probably could have done that faster. Like, it spent so much time just like faffing about. Maybe I couldn't have. I don't know. Maybe I'm just being overly optimistic, but I feel like there wasn't anything crazy complicated there, and that I probably could have done it faster. But oh well, it's done it now. So let's see if it even worked. First of all, yep, that instantly does. That probably just needs to. It's obviously got the slurry in here. That is the center block. Is it because it doesn't have energy? I don't think so. I don't think that should be the cause of what's going on, but we can try. I think energy just goes in. In that case, it probably goes in the bottom. That would be why. Boom. Oh. So the slurry is in there. It's just not rendering in there. Neither is the output, apparently. Wait, a slurry's just not rendering anymore? Have I broken something, or has Codex broken something that bad? Let me just do that real. Like that's also need to fix this fluid rendering. I think this must still be using the old fluid render, because like look at this one, and this one's fine. Let me add that to the list. Oh wait, I don't need to, because we're getting rid of that GUI, right? That's fine. Don't need to worry. Speaking of actually fluid pump GUI, that can go because there's yeah. This is just so like 5, 6, 7, 6, 4, 8. Oh, damn it. 5, 6, 7. And it says to me that it is like I'm just kind of concerned that what it's doing right now is it's looping back and forth between the pipe and the machine. I don't think it should be able to do that, because in theory, this is outputting bauxite slurry, and this is outputting something else. I don't remember what this outputs. Should we have a look? Resources, data, Industria, multi-block, not multi-blocks. We need to go generated data, Industria, recipes, and let's look for the digester one. Dirty sodium aluminate, yeah, which is a fluid, so that shouldn't be going back into here. That should be in here. But basically, the digester is not rendering slurry input or fluid output. Which, I don't know why, because that definitely worked before when I originally coded it. Also, am I crazy, or are these slots on 2 different Y levels? I might just be crazy. I think I might just be crazy, but do they not look on different Y levels? Okay, I also want to see this fill up so that I can see if the slurry still renders in here. And then we know if that's an issue. Am I crazy wide? I don't know, they look different, but maybe that's because of this bar here. And it's throwing off my perception of like how tall this is. Because obviously this like looks like it goes to the bottom. Whereas this has this gap here, so maybe that's throwing off my perception. I think that's what's... okay, slurries still render, so yeah, it is just a digester. For whatever reason being a complete and utter goofball. Okay, lovely. So that's digester. Yep, it needs models, of course. GUI probably needs work as well, but I'm not going to put that on the... Oh. Do that, by the way. Yeah. Looking at what that looks like, guys. Any work, but... Okay. Okay, no bad. Sure, lad. Sure. So from the digester, we need to find dirty sodium aluminate and find out where that goes. Now, I think it goes into the clarifier. Yeah, there it is. Makes sense. It is in the name. So dirty sodium aluminate gets turned into sodium aluminate. So we need to find, in that case, the data industrial multiblocks clarifier. Here we go. Now what I'm going to do for you guys, I'm just going to do that, and I'm going to full screen that. There you go. And then we're just going to build the clarifier. So you need smooth stone. Let me just get rid of all these, by the way. Okay, then we need the clarifier, of course. So let me put that in here. Fire. And then we need glass. And we need cauldron, but specifically we need a water cauldron, apparently. Don't know why, by the way, don't ask me. We also need a hopper. Oh my god, this... I think this is one that I started to texture. Quite funny. Okay, so this one is smooth stone, smooth stone, smooth stone. Okay, it's just a ring of smooth stone like that. Clarifier goes in the middle, like... Is that placed down or not? No. I don't know why it's not facing down. Wait, maybe the clarifier... Oh. I think the clarifier is saying it requires, like, space around it. Yeah. But that's kind of not really an issue if we're gonna change how that all works anyways, right? So glass, glass, glass. Boom, boom. Then we have hopper like that, hopper like that. And then we have a cauldron filled with water like that. And then we're going to have to go under it to access controller. Okay, once again, the model is... Oh, it's over... Why are they all rendering over here? What the hell is happening? Okay, where do we write that down on here? Constructing the... let's say constructing multiple multi-blocks moves the model moves the models of all the multi-blocks into one place. I think what must be happening is it must be doing like some kind of averaging algorithm between the positions of them, right? Because like this one is in between this one and this one, right? Now they're all in the middle. So I think that must be what's going on. I just don't know why it's doing that. I'm tempted to ask Codex to try and fix that now, because the problem is it's really jarring to figure out what's going on without that. I'm gonna ask Big Man to clear. You may need to look at the lib codex /block lib. I've just asked Codex to look into that. I'm also going to commit everything I've got now. But we're not going to wait for Codex this time, since this isn't important that we wait for it. Instead, we're just going to let that run in the background and we'll figure it out. So, clarifier. So, yeah, this needs to take fluid from the digester. So, I don't know where the digester... I have a feeling... Yeah, it's out the back. I thought so. So, clarifier, I'm pretty sure takes it from the top. Yeah, there was a bit of a weird issue there, but I think it's fine. Okay, there's some weird issues there, but it's fine. Let's do this. There you go. Nice. So that now has 30 sodium aluminate. That just proves that the digester has some fucked up rendering or whatever. And that should turn into sodium aluminate, which we will hopefully see. Nice. And it also outputs some red mud. And luckily, we can actually see that is rendering down here as well. Lovely. So we need textures for dirty sodium aluminate and sodium aluminate. Now I should probably say that these are All right, see your wide. So now we have red mud, which I don't remember if red mud has a usage or not. I think right now it doesn't, but later down the line we can figure that out. Speaking of, in fact, I will add on usage for. Let's actually add this as a design decision, and we're gonna need to figure out red mud. We'll come back to that once we've kind of tested the whole process. Okay, lovely. So that gives us sodium illuminate. Lovely jubbly. Yep. Keep that running, ideally, as much as possible. Clarifier, yeah, that doesn't need like energy or anything. That's fine. Okay, fantastic. So next one, then we want to go from sodium illuminate, I think, into the crystallizer. I think, but let's try and find out. No, that's incorrect. Sodium illuminate. Hello, Aleatoria. Welcome to the stream. I don't see sodium illuminate. So let's just have a look. Sodium to Industria. Brilliant. I have not watched Spider-Man. I've honestly not watched like any of the Spider-Man. So no, I have not watched the new one, and I will probably not watch the new one. Because anything Marvel, DC, I've just never really found interest in. Also, I was right. It is the crystallizer, by the way, guys. I'm so pro. Crystal. Okay, crystallizer. Let's place it here. Okay, interesting. That one got moved there. Oh, that's a new one. But at least we should see some rendering for this one now. Okay, we need to actually build once again the multi-block though. So crystallizer. Okay, this one's really weird. But sure. Packed ice we have. Let me just grab a wrench so we can fill that first slot. There you go. Oh, sure, I can even think about that. Then we have glass. Then we have cauldron. Then we have quartz. I don't know, guys. Don't ask me. Air in the middle. Then we have steel. Then we have lightning rod. Okay. So this is a weird machine, by the way, guys, in terms of the multi-block here. So Minecraft has gone out. There you go. So it's done like this. Then we got crystallizer in the middle. That's incredibly buggy, but it's fine. Then it's done glass around the outside. Cauldron in the middle, like that. Then we got quartz around the outside, air in the middle, and then we got steel, and then we got a lightning. So a wacky one, for sure. By the way, apparently Codex has fixed the multi-block issue. So we are actually going to restart the game. And we're going to test the theory. By the way, guys, if you're not already in the Discord is linked in the description. Come hang out in there. That would be great. I always forget to mention the Discord, to be honest. But worth mentioning. We have discussions. Well, we haven't had many, but we'll be having more discussions about Industria in the Discord. So that's a good place to join. And yeah, you can have good input into Industria. Because yeah, that's where I will go usually when I have, you know, ideas or all that kind of thing. It will be in the Discord, so make sure you join up if you want to be included in that. Nice. That has actually fixed all the rendering. W Codex. Let's go. I mean, the change looked pretty simple from the diff, but still. Lovely. Okay, that has actually fixed it. That's fantastic. Okay, the problem with you deleting your messages is oh, never mind. I actually can see it on screen, can't I? That's fine. I've never watched Spider-Man, and I have no interest in it before, but after the chance, so good. Yeah, I have heard good things about the film. I just probably won't watch it. To be honest. I just don't really have any interest in watching it, so I will probably not watch it, therefore. Once again, I'm guessing. Oh. Never mind. I was going to say I'm guessing it goes in the top, but or something. Oh, because there's two inputs, right. Yeah, I don't know if that's the right way around then. It's probably fine. Okay. Okay. Okay, we're going to connect this all the way up to the water supply because I'm too lazy to add another pump. Yep, I thought that might cause problems. Okay, is this the wrong way around? Is that not going to work? Or does it need energy? Wait, let me have a look at the recipe again real quick. Crystallizer. Here you go. So it might not be water, to be fair. Crystal fluid, sodium illuminate, water fluid is water. That should work. But it might just be the wrong way round, to be honest, guys. I think it's probably the wrong way round. So kind of a pain to fix, but okay. And then what we can do is we can take this And then we can just do boom, 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 boom. Okay. And, oh, what I need to do first is just break that, and then I need to rebuild it. Has that worked? Huh. That hasn't changed anything. Oh. Wait. Oh, because these aren't... Wait, how does it have fluid in it? Oh, you know what must have happened? It must have, retained the storage. Right? That must be what's happened here. If I place that back down, and then do that, and then I need to re-wrench this. Yeah, there you go. Now, it says it's not connecting, but these actually are connected. But there you go. And in here, there are crystals. You can just about see them. It looks weird because... Oh, yeah, there you go. But there you go. That's using up... That'll go through the whole thing. And yeah, we'll have these crystals. Obviously, long term, you know, when the actual model is made, there'll be like little grates across here, and the crystals will sit on the grates, right, rather than just being suspended in air. Yeah, and then we get aluminum hydroxide, or aluminium, as the normal people say, and sodium carbonate. So that's lovely. Now, did I put crystallizer on model work? Yes, I did. Okay. And were there any other issues? No, I think that was it, right? So this one's fine. Let's check the thingy. So if we put sodium carbon, no, if we put aluminum hydroxide in, no, do not put. I thought the catalyst is aluminum hydroxide. So why is that not working? Okay. Let's put that down then. Catalyst for crystallizer is not working. Catalyst for crystallizer cannot be put in item. I'm not going to say it's not working, because I'm pretty sure it does work. I vividly remember coding it, and then testing it. So I think it's just not letting me put it in the slot for whatever reason. I don't know why. That's fine. Okay, so the next one then, is whatever comes after this. So the aluminum hydroxide, I think, is what goes in the rotary kiln. I'm pretty sure. So let's see if we can find the rotary kiln alumina. Yes, you put aluminum hydroxide in there. Okay. Do you add plan to add different pipes depending on their task? Yes, we already have fluid pipes here. We have slurry pipes. We also have gas pipes. These ones. And then we have, well, cables up here as well. So those are the four that we have right now. But we may also add more in the future, but that'll depend. We'll see. I have thought about adding like molten pipes, but I don't know if I'm gonna make molten its own type or if I just make it a fluid. Realistically, should just be a fluid, probably. But yeah, I will obviously consider that when it comes to it. Okay, let's can I take items out of this? I think is a good next thing to do. So let's try the hatch. Like that. Is hatch the right one? That might be the wrong one. It's not the hatch. Is it the feeder? Yes, it is the feeder. Lovely. Now I should probably not have put the feeder down first because that's causing some problems. So we do need a hatch because we want to put it into something else, right? Okay, that's only taken that out. That's good. I think the other one does come out somewhere. You can make it come out somewhere, but I don't remember where, so that's fine. Conveyors. I'm gonna put these on here now. Now I already have all the conveyors in here. Yeah. So these are all the conveyors. You can't see the code right now, but these are all the conveyors. I can't be asked to fix all those. I'm just gonna leave it at whatever. But yeah, all of these need their models and textures done. So that's fine. Yeah, there's also that weird rendering issue in here. Fix weird rendering issue with crystallizer when looking at internal fluid from below angle. This is an issue with transparency sorting, so it may be fixed in 26.2 -3. That's worth pointing out. I think it may be fixed in newer versions because Mojang moment, but obviously we'll have to wait until we get to that point before we can see. What's going on in here, by the way? Oh, this isn't running anymore because it's full of red mud. Yeah, that's a good point. So what we can do is we can plonk down a double chest. We can hatch onto the double chest. Oh wait, I need to figure out conveyor. Oh, conveyor placement. That's fine. And then we can just convey it into that from somewhere. From here. Oh, look at these guys. A bit goofy with items, but fine. Okay. So in that case, what we can do conveyor. Okay. Yeah, conveyors are like still a little bit weird with their placement antics. But that's, it's just kind of is what it is, unfortunately. Oh my god. But this is... Okay, this is actually, like, kind of bad. Because I need to... They're really, like, a pain to do, because they don't want to line up properly. I think if I do that... See, that doesn't work. But it clearly wanted to, right? There is a way to do it. To get this to work, but I don't know what it is. So I'm just going to extend it out one block and then just do it like that. Because I know that works. Okay. Then this can be a feeder, which I think I need to place like this, which is kind of annoying. Nice. So those should all now go into here. Lovely jubbly. And then this will start processing again. Okay, these also didn't render. Flaps on feeder did not render. Or flaps on hatch, actually. Flaps on hatch did not render until initial interaction with an. Here we go. Boom, and then red mud comes out. Lovely, cool and cool. Okay. That gonna work? Nice. Cool. Okay. Turn that off. I'm gonna put something down for conveyor placement. Honestly, just like fix conveyor placement. Conveyor placement, oh, I fucking hate it, bro. It's so hard to get right. I don't know if I'm just stupid or what, but like trying to get it right is so incredibly hard. But yeah, it is what it is. Now that's out anyways. That's fine. I don't know where the other one, like I don't know where the other output is. The problem is I can't see it because the bounding boxes aren't working, right? So not particularly helpful. But whatever, that's fine. Okay, next one then is the. Now I'm pretty sure it's the rotary kiln, right? Yeah. Okay, so rotary kiln is one of the complicated ones in reality. Now, oh, we're gonna actually have to build the rotary kiln. Oh no. Oh, good lord. Wait, what the fuck? Oh, that's the controller. Wait, but how do you build... Oh, I think you just place these down, right? I'm actually not sure. Oh. Oh, this isn't right. I see what it's tried to do here. But it thinks the rotary kiln is a single multi-block. Okay, unfortunately, guys, in that case, we can't really test the rotary kiln. You know, actually, let's try something. Let's do place. Oh, no, not place. It's, Oh, I think there's a command for it. I think I added a command. Build? Oh, it'll be like Industria. No, it'll be a... No, it might have just been in the test mod. I did add a command to place down multi-block structures, but I think it's actually only in the multi-block lib test mod, unfortunately. The reason I don't want to build this, by the way, guys, is because this is the pattern. So, yeah. So this is not how the rotary kiln is meant to work. The point of the rotary kiln is that basically you have... You know, let me show you guys. I have a world somewhere where it should already exist. This one? Okay, it's not going to work. Basically, Okay, yeah, this will work. So basically you have this part right here, right? So this is like the controller part of the rotary kiln. And this is where you input items, as you see there. And then basically you have center sections which span from so like this part here, this is 2 blocks, this input section. Then you have the center section, which would be like it would go from 3 to like 14, probably 3 to 14 blocks long, but it's variable, so it's as long as you want it to be. And then at the end you will have like an output section, which will be maybe 2 blocks long. Yeah, I can't show you because when I redid the multi-blocks, I obviously fucked this one up. So yeah, like this isn't happening. We're not going to get this. Oh, I'm in the shoot. Yeah, we're not going to get this one working today, unfortunately. Honestly, guys, I'm probably going to end it here as well since it is now 11 p.m. I also haven't had dinner, which is kind of not great. But yeah, we're kind of at like a natural close here because we can't continue this until I rework the rotary kiln. I'm just going to put that. In fact, I'm going to also add that to model work as well. Rotary kiln. We'll have the... I don't know what I want to call the free section. I realize you guys may have just not been able to see what I was doing because I hid Minecraft again, didn't I? The point is that there's 3 sections. I do have a name for each section. Let's see if I can find it. Okay, so yeah, you have the controller, you have the tube, and then you have the output, right? So those are basically like the 3 different parts. You could probably even split it up further, maybe. You could have like a Bunsen part and whatever, but the entire point is that you'll have like a Bunsen burner in the middle, right? So there'll be a tube, and then like at the start of the tube, which is currently here, but obviously it wouldn't be here, you would have a Bunsen burner, like a massive like Bunsen burner flame that comes, it would come basically all the way, and then the tube that is actually here will be spinning inside like a stationary tube. So currently it's just a box, of course, but it would be an actual tube. So that's the idea of it. I'm going to put in here controller, tube, output, and it's also going to require a Bunsen burner, but I will actually add that as well. So Bunsen. Wow. That doesn't need to exist. So yeah, we can't really do much more with Minecraft right now, but that yeah, I'm just gonna put that on here. So split rotary kiln into the necessary sections. This will require redesigning how the placement well. Implement Bunsen burner for rotary kiln as well. I think that's basically fine for now. Yeah, I've got red mud on here. I also want, I think, sodium carbonate is what's outputted from thingy thing. What outputs sodium carbonate? The crystallizer. Yeah, sodium carbonate. I don't know that we have a usage for that yet. So, well, decide how placement for the rotary kiln should work from the player's deck. And yeah, as I say, we're not going to have time to go through that today. I will probably do another planning stream at some point, since we didn't get much planning actually done today. I mean, we have a lot on here, don't get me wrong, but none of this is really planning. This wasn't what I aimed to do. Yeah, I want to continue from this, and I want to go through the entire processing line, everything that's currently in the mod, and then we can do some proper planning of things. So we'll talk about the rubber process properly. We're going to talk about oil properly. We're going to talk about electrolysis properly as well. We're going to talk about batteries. That's a massive thing that we need to talk about. We're going to discuss like cables and pipes, because maybe we want to have like tiered cables or different kinds of cables. You know, like you might have low voltage cables, medium voltage cables, high voltage cables, maybe that kind of thing. So there's a lot of planning to actually be done. And then also a big thing is like progression that needs to be figured out as well. Like how do we actually start the mod, and then how do you progress the mod? It's easier said than done, I would say. So yeah, I think we're gonna go ahead and end the stream here. I hope you all enjoyed, even though we didn't get much done. But yeah, I will see you maybe tomorrow. I don't know. It depends. Wait, let me look at the weather, and then I'll let you guys know if I'll see you tomorrow or not. Possibly. Weather goes down to 23 tomorrow, so you possibly might see me tomorrow. So that's good. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and end it here, and yeah, I will see you all maybe tomorrow, if not some other time this week. Good. Bye.